Hi, and welcome once again to Odyssey of Ascension. This is Roxanne, and today is Q&A day. We got about 41, 42 questions somewhere in that area that we are going to answer. We'll do probably about 20 today and the rest on Friday. So in a couple days from now, the rest will be out. I did have some questions that came in after the cutoff, so I'm going to put those into next month. So if your question wasn't answered, then you know it's going to be in next month. If you want to know the answer now, just re-email me and say, hey Roxy, can you answer the question now, and I'll do that for you. Okay? So very good. Here we go. You ready to read it? Got everything? All right. And greetings once again to the collective. This is Ocyphius. Bid you a good day. Let us begin, Rita, that of Q&A. Rock and roll.
Number one. This is from Dana K.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask Ocyphius if he would connect to my higher self to find out where my feelings of lack and discontent come from so that I can learn to love those feelings when they arise. Thank you so much.
Most certainly. That of Dana, correct?
Yes.
The idea of Dana, talking to your higher self, you, always know that. You have just as much access to the higher self as I do. It is only your distortion that says differently. Work on that as well. How? By allowing it and loving it and knowing it and playing in the field of imagination. We will give you this part first. I want to talk to my higher self. We've said it before. Hello, how are you? Fine, great. What's going on? Not much. Have the two-way conversation and start the dialogue, and then you will get responses unknown to you, unreacted by you. Truly. And the idea of lack and the idea of discontent, upset, it is a value system. It is what you find cherishable, valuable, as is. In other words, the limitation is reality. And when those are challenged by you, higher self, potentiating realities around you of higher available frequencies for you to experience, the friction comes up, the discontentment comes up, and challenges your current value system of what reality is, your acceptable idea framework, what you're allowed to do within the idea of humanity in this world. If I go beyond over here, I might get judged over there. If I go and do my thing here, let's say, maybe it will appear as irresponsible. If I no longer choose to do this obligation, my lack of abundance is keeping me back. No, it's not. Because the lack of abundance is only now. And if you now don't have, let's say, abundance, ask yourself this. What do you have now to get you to the next now? I dare say everything. And allow the abundance to flow in whatever magical way it will be. So when you're challenging yourself in the ideas of now, you find a friction. That friction is a limitation. The friction is telling you to let go of the limitation. Go beyond and allow it to unfold and see that the fears that your egoic self is conjuring up and throwing at you to say you better not because, or if you don't, because, this is going to happen, effect, consequences, the whole thing. Everything plays out. But if you stay in the now and focus on the now, you see those fears do not come true. Truly. And the now is, let's say, fear is only valid if it's called danger. Difference. Oh yes. Play with that one for a while. You'll see that fear never plays out. Danger is different. True. So in the idea of fear, it is conjured up in time. But if you look to now, that lack that you're perceiving is not happening in the now. It's happening in time. Past, future. Those kind of ideas. See, the idea of you wanting to be a millionaire gives you security where? In time, does it not? If I had everything now, in the future, I will be okay. So I can release myself, relieve myself, and then I'll be perfect. Now is always perfect. See, all of you have been millionaires many times, I'm sure. Why? Because you've spent that much money. But since you don't have it that in the now, you don't call yourself a millionaire because you don't have the savings. But truly, if the millionaire's money is sitting there, doing nothing, It's only comfort then. You can see that. Because you're not spending it now. It's just sitting there. I got everything. So when something comes up, I'll be fine. I'll be okay in time. But if you love the now and love and trust yourself now, right now, then the money's not needed in time. In the now, it comes. And it doesn't necessarily have to be money. Now, here's another flip side of the coin. It doesn't mean you can't have money. A boatload of money. You can be fat and stupid and rich, as we say. Great term, because you're just fat and happy. Awesome. You're allowed to have that. But it's your definition between you and the money and the purpose it serves that is holding it back from you. Because you're not trusting you and you're not trusting the now. Play with that one as well. Very good. Go ahead.
This is from Cindy L. Can you tell me about my connection to the Pleiadians? Pleiadians. I've been told that I am mostly Pleiadian starseed energy, and I resonate with that very much. Also, are there any messages for me from my Pleiadian family?
Sure. They say, hello, how are you? And you could talk to us more. All right. Now, yes, you understand the connection. But do not confine yourself to just Pleiadians. We will now adventure into what's happening in the movement, living on the edge. You guys are more connected than you ever have the ability to fathom. You're not a starseed Pleiadian family. You're all of the Pleiadians, all of the Arcturians, all of the Syrians. Everything that you have encompassed is the knowledge of a connection. You are most certainly already that connected. As a self, as an interaction, it doesn't matter. It's only the definitions of humanity that separate the idea of I'm Pleiadian and I'm not this or that or I want to be. Fine. But now let's go beyond that. You're already connected to your entire family. But let's ask you this. What about your Arcturian family? What about your Syrian family? What about your interdimensional family? What about everyone in the room around you? What about them? That spiritual family. You see, all of you that we're connecting with, we know each other. Oh yes, we know each other for what you call a long time. There's no one you're bumping into that's brand new to you. We're all in this for a very long time together, and those bonds are growing. The idea of, let's say, getting a new idea of family and galactic and history within yourself gave you validation to connect and allow yourself to be a Pleiadian, to be a Zeta, to be a Zephyr, to be an Essassani, sure. However, now we can go beyond that, and you are encompassing, and let's say, all of it. So yes, don't diminish yourself to only Pleiadian. Brighten yourself to the Pleiadian and allow that idea connection to come in and see what else you're connected to. You're more than that. But I dare say this. Cindy. It is Cindy, yes. You are a human. I want you to resonate and sit with that one. And to see how awesome it is to be this idea. Don't worry about your Pleiadian connections. You're choosing the human connections. Choose that and watch this journey brighten, accelerate beyond imagination, and see what you as a human are capable of remembering, seeing, understanding, offering, acknowledging, coalescing, expanding, just from your focus on being the wonderful species humanity. Excellent. Next.
This is from Tanya. I've got a question for O or Sly. If consciousness expands with contrast, will that expansion slow down as we ascend? Also, a little question for you. Is there a group or something I can be a part of for refining my channeling? I think I'm getting the Arcturians, through, but they're so quiet, I just wanted to know how to make them a bit louder, LOL. Finally, I just want to say how thankful and grateful I am to you. You really are a blessing.
You're most welcome, Tanya. Thank you. All right. And the idea of expanding and contracting, the contrast, slowing down, polarity. You're viewing it from the eyes of polarity. See, when one thing moves away from you, At the same time, it's moving towards you. But you're viewing it from one perspective as diminishing or brightening, getting smaller or getting larger. Contrast. That's all polarity. That's your view. But when you get the big view, there is no getting smaller or getting larger. There's only the expansion of now. We call it expansion, but we don't look at it and go, wow, we're getting bigger, because that has the polarity of smaller. Hard for you to view that in this now, but just entertain that idea and trust your, let's say, connection of your channeling abilities to your higher self and let that unfold. And yes, the Arcturians are most certainly there to be channeled if you choose. If you want idea, let's say, inspiration to be an idea channeler, contact Roxy. Give her an email, make a comment, and we'll say hello, and we'll connect from there. Excellent. I believe that covered it.
Okay. The next question is from Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Do other species off planet kill and eat each other?
Great question. Yes and no. There are many species that do kill, not necessarily eat each other. There are a few worlds that did that in what you call your history. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But in the now that you're living in, no. In the now that is, yes. And the idea of killing each other, sure, of course. This is not exclusive to humanity. Oh no. There are many ideas of limitation, many games in play. There is, let's say, the Archuletian Wars. Those kind of ideas. Those are wars that you purposely incarnate as an idea of a warrior to have the experience of going to war and dying. But truly, everyone who plays the game knows it's a video game, because even when you're down in the fractal, you didn't forget. You're still connected to the whole, so you know it's totally a game simply for the experience. The difference between that and humanity is the pureness of it. There is no connection to source. So the vibration of being, let's say, killed or killing here is much more intensified because of the forgetfulness, that kind of idea. But there are places that people go and play the war role simply for the experience, truly. And there are species that, let's say, at war with each other in different ideas of separation. Not so much from the polarity point of view, although. Truly. Understand that there are dimensions, densities, ideas, paradigms set up purposely for only a certain portion of realization to be realized simply because for experience. So you have both ends of the scale. Some only have one end of the scale. Some have from the middle over only, because that's the choice for that particular experience, with no possibilities of waking up, because that's the construct. Unconnected to source in different ways, but still connected to source in awareness. This is the separation with full range. Big difference. Play it out. Trust yourself. Next.
This is from Arturo. I feel I've been abducted by several races on many occasions since I was a little kid, yet I feel it may all just be a dream. This past year I've been waking up with interesting marks on my hands and arms as if I was visited that same night. I would like to know if this is true, and if so, which races have been taking me and with what purpose. Do I have alien-infused DNA, and do I have hybrid children in this current now?
Wonderful. Yes, you've been abducted many times, only by one species though. Let's say it was for the purpose of hybridization. The species you were abducted by were greys, in your idea, but not necessarily, let's say, used as a gray idea hybrid. You went to the Arcturian idea, and you did hybridize with grays, zetas. Yes, absolutely. These are those marks that you do see. And as you allow this, first, now that you know it, now you accept it. And the view of it is how it's remembered. Truly. Don't put any energy of victim, abducted. You went voluntarily. Truly. So in that idea, you would now, let they say, the frequencies of the frequencies of distortion that block you from seeing what is actually occurring will now be lifted because A, you accepted it, B, you're viewing it as part of creation instead of victim idea. Because that's your approach to the moment, and that shifts your entire reality. Know this as well. So that will unfold it for you. All right. And in the idea of what purpose to have hybrid children. Truly. Many of them. Oh, yes. And in many different versions of yourself as well. Oh, yes. You have a female version of you on, let's say, a parallel alternate reality that is included in the hybridization program as well. Truly. And DNA infusions? No. You are human. Your DNA is already in place from the human species you see before you. You weren't injected with any other DNA. Not needed. You will know, though, what you are capable of. Truly. Next.
Okay, this next question is from Eric. Hi, Roxy. I can hear things over my head like in the ceiling, someone touching my nose when something is correct, touching my chin when some info is sad. When I meditate, sitting, I can't help but tilt my head all the way back. I love it, but who is it? I remember Ocyphius saying that we're a little part of everything.
Yes.
I feel and sensed that I'm connected to reptilian and a connection from Babylon, ? Lastly, any message?
All right. The idea of your feeling those different connections. They're not necessarily all the time the reptilian idea connection. The Babylonian idea we'll get to in a moment. The reptilian connection within you, yes, most certainly. You have a very prevalent reptilian self that is actively, let's say, being connected more and more as you're allowing it. And you've been playing with that idea. That's why that frequency made available. The person that is touching you is you. Your own vibrational, let's say, etheric body. Right outside of your body, you are touching you to give yourself the connection. You've chosen that modality to feel in physical form your own answers. Because you're not listening to this. You're listening, but you're not trusting it. You're not listening wholeheartedly. You're listening, but you don't, let's say, how can it be true? You're doubting it. That kind of idea. So the connection now is when I am this, or I am this, or I am this, I am getting these signals from myself. And soon that will lose its luster. Because it's a connection. It's a permission slip, and then you move on from it. And then when that occurs, you will be ready to just trust the conversations that are going on in your mind. Now, you have the reptilian idea self that is there. I-N-C-O-K. That is his name. So take that and talk to him much like you're talking to a family member, a friend, a stranger, a telephone call. It does not matter. Talk to that reptilian idea, parallel reality, incarnated self, from you, the higher you that you are, and say hello. And carry on the conversation with that. That's not who's touching you, but that is a presence in you that you are aware of. The Babylonian idea was a coalesced idea. Won't be so prevalent anymore. Let's say you have everything is now. A Babylonian self is playing out an idea of revenge, which you have recently felt revenge. And that idea, someone wronged you. You're feeling that frequency. You're interpreting it as that friction as someone wronged me, so you put the blame on the mirror. But it was actually happening, your connectedness to the Babylonian being wronged and going on a rampage and killing lots of, let's say, people for the justification that that Babylonian self felt. Family was killed, he killed their family. You felt that rage. You did not get the picture of what's happening, but the rage in this idea, especially with humanity, transcended all time because you are connected. So that rage came up to you, you felt it, but now it's been coalesced within you. That self healed it, which is you healing it in ways as well. It may need be present in a validation within you yet, however, it is far less vibrationally strong. It is something you can coalesce quite simply. And these are a lot of your own beliefs entities that you have your parallel selves working out things for you. True. And of course, oh yes, you're working it out for them as well. Next.
Okay, this is from Nancy. Do I have the ability to change my DNA into a direction of my next idea of self? Is that how it's done? My desires change my DNA? I think I already know the answer, but let's talk about it a little more. Life is fun.
Yes, it is.
Happy face.
Life is fun. Frequency unifying now. Fun. Booyah. And that idea, we would like to give you this, Nancy. Nancy, we would like you to do this. We would like you to call Roxanne. 210-605-5604. There's a conversation within that would, let's say, be most probable beneficial for you to be kept in an idea of one-on-one. And that idea, we will expand this because it has a high potential for you to shift into a reality. And we would most likely, or most certainly like it to be what you would understand as a moment of expansion in time in the nows of this. This is being experienced in this now as a delay to you. We want it more, let's say, to be in the moment. Either on the phone or on Skype or whatever program that we use in that now. Thank you. Next.
Okay, this is from Lydia.
Hello, Lydia.
Yesterday, I saw a purple symbol on my heart chakra center. It looked like a chakra symbol with a lot of lotus petals around it and a symbol on the inside I've never seen before. Could you possibly tell me what I saw? Thank you.
You most certainly did idea the lotus, the birthing idea. The symbol is for you to draw and make it into the definition that you see. It is not for us to define. This is your moment, your idea. It does represent what you call a higher awareness, a signal from a different idea. A signal and a symbol from a different idea, civilization, that you will bring forth in continuity, to bring forth that idea, an introduction, a symbol of them. Much like the idea of the triangle, with the blue around it, that is the idea Ascension. Syrian in their ideas in different fashions as such. You will be the same way with this symbol. You know the symbol, you see the symbol, draw the symbol, be the symbol, and ask yourself. Trust it. It's time for you to be God. Yourself. Truly. You got this. Next.
This is from George G.
Hello, George.
What are we? Would you say the following statement is the correct answer? We are incarnated souls having a human experience. Also, where are we heading as humanity and as individuals?
So, let us say this. There's no correct answer. The ultimate reality is all correct answers to you, truth is in the eye of the beholder, are the correct answers. Are you incarnating soul? No. Are you an incarnating entity? Yes, as a human. Where's the humanity going? Wherever it chooses. Right now, the earth you're experiencing with the collective one of this idea, 4D Earth, is going to be a 4D ascended species. The individual, where that's going, it's up to you. Scary, isn't it? Why? Because you have to choose yourself. At every idea, a functional point of now, comes a time for all of you to start trusting and choosing yourself. The guides are here. We're all here. We're way showers, door openers. But there will come a time when you choose yourself. So humanity goes where humanity as a collective goes. This 4D Earth is going on the Ascension timeline. All other probabilities of not going are falling away. They're not existing in that idea of a probable future. They do exist, but humanity doesn't see it. They won't choose to go there. How you get to the Ascension is the collective one moving through the, let's say, parallel timelines to get to the Ascension in that perfect now. The individual that chooses their idea moves the collective whole in that direction. So you're awake, George. You're choosing your joy, offering your light, finding yourself, becoming, speaking, being the God here on earth to represent that new earth where more and more come to, and this is the direction where it's going. But don't look for finite answers. Don't look for time frames. Don't look for whens and hows. Those are all construct of fear for the future. We've got this. You've already ascended. You're done. You've played it out. You're way bigger than you are. You're an oversoul, incarnating, let's say, 76,000 fractals out of you on a new idea earth in the future. That's where you are now, if you want to know that. Don't worry about where you're going. Be in the moment and create where you're going for you. And the byproduct is the ascension for the species, which, by the way, we're all already ascending. The ascension idea is a construct. You're moving from 4D, from 3D rather, to 4D. That's ascending a species. But we've all been ascending since the idea of now, in every direction for infinity, truly. So don't confine ascension only like when you get to 4D, you're done ascending. Oh no. We keep going, we keep expanding, we keep evolving. There's unknowns everywhere that we choose. And you all choose the unknowns. That's where we are, what we are, explorers of the unknown. Truly. Go ahead.
This is from Alan. The following question is for Sylvester or my higher self.
Yes.
In this present now, in terms of shifting, am I behind the curve or ahead of it, or am I currently creating staying behind on the 3D Earth, or am I moving in the direction of disengaging the physical altogether, moving toward non-physicality and expanded freedom outside this physical dimension? It doesn't matter which is the case. I just seem to be at a point of confusion right now. I don't know which direction I'm moving in, and this is causing stress. Also, do you have any tips on how to stay present in the now?
Wow, that was a lot, wasn't it?
Yes.
A lot of things. If you look at that big, Sylvester here, guys, if you look at that whole big picture, look at all the things that you're finding valid. Read it out again. Just the first, I'll tell you when to stop.
Am I behind the curve
Bingo,
or
stop.
ahead of it?
Okay, so if there's no curve, you can't be behind it. You're only validating the curve in comparison to where humanity is. Let me ask you, who cares? Are they your judge? Are they telling you what you're supposed to be doing? See, a lot of the constructs of humanity, once again, we said this before, and we'll give it to you again, is here's all the definite 3D limitations, and you're taking those definitions and you're putting them into 4D spirituality. That's fine, but realize you don't need to. There's no one here except you. You're a mirror reflection to them. They're a mirror reflection to you. So if you put yourself behind or ahead of the curve, that's coming from polarity. That's coming from polarity construct of better than or worse than, behind the curve, ahead of the curve. How am I doing? Do I need to get a gold star? Do I get to graduate? Do I have to come back? All of these fears, those are all you going, holy shit, what am I doing wrong? And you're pinging around, jumping through hoops. Just be now, darling. How do you be now? I'm now. Hello, now. What the heck? Now. Okay, now. And you stay in that now. When something comes up that tells you other than now, say, that's time. Thank you very much. I'm going to stay in the now. If it becomes too huge, it's like, oh God, I got to do that. I'm responsible. Then do it. Release yourself from following your joy. That you know you want to do this, but you're so scared. Then you're relieved. And that's fun too. And then you get to choose that obligation and it plays out and you're going, man, I really didn't have to do this. And then there's the next now. Remember, you have an eternal number of do-overs and it's called now. Never runs out. You're not wasting time. You can't waste time. The more you choose yourself, the more you choose now, time disappears. And then all of a sudden, what you thought was a week, was a month. What you thought was a day was a week. And then what thought you month was a year. It just, you get so much packed in when you're in the now. Truly. What else? Put next part of that. I want to make sure I got it all.
Staying behind on the 3D Earth.
Right, can't do that. You're on 4D. Hi, welcome to it. Stay there. How? Just by being you. No worries. There's no 3D Earth that you want to go back to because you know. So you're not going to unchoose your own knowing. You can't go back to sleep You can't redo your own illusion. You're born. When you remember, you can't unremember. You've coalesced it. There's no going to 3D Earth for you. Trust. Go.
Or am I moving in the direction of disengaging the physical altogether?
Well, eventually, sure. We're all going to go to a vibration of light.
Moving toward non-physicality and expanded freedom outside this physical body.
Okay. Expanded freedom. When you view yourself in limitation, you stay in limitation. Be the human, the unknown human that you are. And that DNA stuff, oh, we didn't answer that from that lady. The Tanya idea. We're going to do that personal?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Okay. So in the DNA idea with that, you don't know what your DNA is going to do for you. You're still imagining what it's going to do. Your DNA is going to tell you the light being and moving into that non-physicality. But how about playing out what it is to be unlimited here on Earth? But you don't know how. So you chalk it up to I don't know how, so I want to escape to that unknown over there called in my imagination, which is true. What they told me you coveted. Light, non-physical, escape, true freedom. You have so much freedom here you don't know. When you release yourself, the now becomes forever, and you have all the abilities you've ever imagined. But the only reason why those abilities aren't here yet is because the species is ascending, and there's some things that is not acceptable within the frequency construct of ascension. Relax. Understand it for yourself. Come in the now. You have plenty of now of perfect happiness that doesn't need to be created with joys of, let's say, perceived abilities, remembered abilities, teleportation, flying around, moving things. All of that stuff is coming. But you got to let go of the limitations to see how the moment is so perfect, so beautiful that you never question who you are, what you are in any town forever. Forever. Go ahead.
Okay, well that was all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next question is from Infecta. Could you or Ocyphius elaborate more on the Ring of Atlantis or the symbol on it? I have been attracted to it shortly before my awakening a few years ago, and now I wear a gold one. It feels to me like it's a permission slip for me to channel Syrians in a near future. Anyway, I now know that this was a great tool on my path to be supported, and I don't need it that much as I know how the law of attraction works. Thank you.
Yes. So, two aspects to this. Yes, you're going to channel if you choose. Listen, guys, whenever you get something into your reality, it's a potential. You don't need permission from anyone to do it. You don't need validation from anyone to do it. But we'll give you this validation, sure. Absolutely, you can channel those ideas. You can be a part of that, let's say, potential realities of channelers coming online to create that idea connection with the Syrian civilization and everything they have to say. Absolutely. What is the symbol of, let's say, the Atlantean idea is a connection to an Atlantis that did not go away. That's a parallel Earth of the timeline. Atlantis didn't choose to poof off the face of the Earth. That's a parallel you going on in the now. That symbol brought through because of your awareness. When you guys get these dreams, these connections, these are all things in the now. These are all things that exist. These are all things that you're just connecting to because you're undoing the veil. You're brightening up, and therefore these filters are letting more stuff come through. Up to you, into the conscience, because it's created in you, into the conscious awareness. And then when it becomes stunning, out of control, I don't understand, you want to know. Perfect. And we are shifting you into I do know, that means you, and I allow it to come, and it presents it to me. And that truth is valid now, and it shifts, and it shifts, and it shifts, and I expand, hoorah. So yeah, absolutely you're connected in that way to that Atlantis idea, and that symbol you see on that Atlantis world that is still existing, going on right now, as well as you want to channel the Syrians. Go, rock and roll, bring it on, because there's so many people that are going to, in your nows to come, as this year unfolds, into next year unfolds, they're going to be seeking, and they want people that have the idea of that dialogue, that connection, that love. They're not looking for information. They seem to be, but they're really just looking for love. And you're putting that out by following your joy. Truly. Go ahead.
This next question is from Felid. Here's my question. Ever since I've learned about hybrid children,
Yep.
I've felt a passion towards them.
Sure.
Could you tell me if or what my connection is to the hybrid children? Thank you.
Yes, most certainly you have hybrid children. Mike, our friend over here, Tom, you have currently, from this incarnation, 17. 17 children. Not much more to say on that, except you've had, let's say, dreams with them, remembrances. And again, guys, we told you this last week, when you accept it, when we're talking the edge workers, when you accept the idea, now that you know it, accept it, and then poof, the whole new room opens up. Everything is there. Who are you going to trust? Even when you trust someone outside the mirror, it's still you because it's a mirror. Trust you. Trust. Go.
Okay, the next question is from Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my life I have felt that I really don't want to have children. I joke to people that I probably had enough kids in past lives and this life is just for me.
Yes.
However, I have always had dreams of being pregnant, and most recently a more vivid dream recalled of giving birth, and also later in the dream I was running around with a little girl about 3 or 4 years old.
Yes.
I would like to know if this has anything to do with me having hybrid children, and if so, who they are.
So let's say no on the hybrid children. Yes, you do have hybrid children, but that is in a different idea of you. This fractal, what you're feeling is your potential as this fractal, okay? This gets a little sticky, but we'll explain it. You're born this person. Every choice, there's a fractal self of the self that chooses different. You have the potentials that are being played out by the higher self of this person of you, this person of you, this person of you. The version of Roxy that didn't transition. The version of Rita that, let's say, chose a different life, chose to stay married, or chose to not marry at all. The idea of Angel choosing never to leave and have and give birth to baby Ra. And those versions are going on. So what you're feeling is a version of yourself that had children walking around. You're connecting back to the same thing. You guys are getting awareness. You don't know how connected you are all the time. We've led you up to this point. Conversations, vibrations, tuning in new radio stations. Those frequencies come in and they're translated by your mind to the best of the ability, and they show themselves in images, words, tones, colors, sounds, whatever. And then you translate them through that filter of the receiving mind into the perceiving mind, and you say, I saw myself with a child. I felt myself pregnant. Yes, that's you over here, right next to you, here and now. There she is, living that life. You guys are connecting to all that is. You're remembering what it is to be one and all at the same time. Beautiful. Oh, good stuff. She's going to rock that. Have fun. Go ahead.
This is from Nick. Do you know what will happen to the population, and in parentheses is number, as the Earth separate? Will the people on the new Earth realize there is a dramatic decrease in population for some unknown reason? Same goes for the old Earth. Or will the populations gradually dwindle until separation? And even then, wouldn't it be obvious something has happened because there are far less people? Second question, how does one love oneself? What does that look or feel like? And can you explain how a person can get to that point?
Sure. All right. The 40 Earths diminishing in population, let's say, yeah. Okay, 40 Earth will decrease in population. You choose to notice if it's less. 3D Earth, have no concern for it. Not your business. What's your job? Only one job you have. That's it. Focus on you. Okay? Now, this ties into the question, how do you love thyself? See, you're looking at things that don't need your attention. Who cares? Truly. It's just transient material. It doesn't have anything to do with the price of fish in China. knowing that idea of what you are worrying about in the focus of what's happening on 4D Earth and the population, wouldn't it be obvious? Doesn't matter. 3D Earth, aren't they going to notice? Who cares? When you release yourself from these structures of knowledge of whatever egoic stance that you're feeling that you need to know, that idea of knowledge giving you an experience that ordained you with some kind of an idea of separation because you have knowledge and status and understanding of what's happening in time, doesn't matter. See, let that go now. Watch how beautiful it is. Ready? Ready? Ha. Done. And where are you? You're now. You're love. You want to understand how to love yourself, and what does that feel like? I can't tell you. That's for you to discover within yourself. How do you do it? By being now and following what you choose. Don't choose to focus on things that have nothing to do with you. They don't. It doesn't matter what they think or what their opinion is. That's a reflection of you. If it has friction, then awesome! You discovered another part of you that serves you no purpose. Say, oh, there's a vibration that I needed to understand in myself. A friction that doesn't serve me. So I'm limited in that way. Holy shit, awesome. So let me see what I do about it. Because I'm observing it, so I see it over there. It's not me. I'm not in it. It's not running me. I can see it different now. Ah, there we go. Hi. And you love it and let it go. And focus on the now. If it gets to be too much, take a nap. Cook something. Go for a walk. Don't care. Go people watch. Go make fun of them. Who cares? It's your world. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. How? How do you have fun? Not perceived fun. Not made up fun. But in the moment, following whatever your mind says. Truly. Trust yourself. Go through it. When I got here, it wasn't that fun. Good! So now you know that wasn't fun. That's what you thought was fun, but now it's not fun. You've let go of that vibration of fun, and now you're going to see another idea, a higher idea, a different idea, to take you into another expansion of yourself. That's why all truths are truth in the moment. Don't hesitate. Theory land sucks. Go to experience. Be it. Feel it. Love it. And watch yourself, and you'll know what love is. Oh yes, you will. Go ahead.
This is from Imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
I had a child with someone and I allowed her to run off with that young child. What's the meaning of that?
I allowed her. You had a choice? You made the choice. Truly.
What's the meaning of that? What are my soul contracts with this child?
None.
And with this parent?
None. Let go. You had an experience in that now. Here's the choice. Look back at that now. What am I supposed to do about it? So the real question is what do you feel guilty about? What is the idea of your obligation to this child? Is there a structure of humanity that says to you you're supposed to do something with this idea? Everybody chose. Okay? The little tiny child is a god. Don't think it's a child. Don't do that. Because what you're doing to yourself is you're constricting your idea definition to that is I did that to that child. They chose to. A lot of you are saying right now, yeah, but the child wasn't aware. Yes, it was. It chose a journey, an experience, an understanding, a certain portion of limitation that all of you chose in one fashion or another. Don't think for 1 second you are not everything. Oh yes. So don't worry about what your contracts are. Contracts are an idea of they're constraining. They're constricting. Let's sign this contract. We're supposed to do this. Now we can break it. You broke your contract. You suck. That's polarity. Get out of that world. See how much you can shift. But guys, all of that served a purpose. We're going into a new world. We have 4D Earth. We're creating it. What do you focus on? Joy. You're looking at something that's eating you alive. I love it. And I want you to look at that. Because I want you to find out what you're obligated to, what you're guilty of, to yourself. There's not one fucking person on the outside of that mirror. Trust it. And certainly, no one is judging you. Nobody. Nobody. Save you. Choose. Go.
Okay, we already answered this question.
Mm-hmm.
So this next question is from Moon Goddess.
Moon Goddess. Love it.
Hi Roxy, you're an amazing channeler, and
Thank
I
you.
especially love Ocyphius. I am curious about the exploitation of animals for food, clothing, research, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see a video from one of the beings elaborating on that, in particular with regards to the emotions expressed by exploited animals and the connectedness and disconnectedness in that from humans.
Good subject. Maybe we should do a channeling on that. We'll do a channeling on that. Actually, I think Ocyphius is going to teach a class on that when we start our little metaphysical university idea that's coming up. For now, I'm going to give you a construct that's going to be a little difficult for some of you to understand. Tommy G, can you come up here and refill Roxy's coffee? A little bit of half and half. You got your sunglasses on. You look like Terminator. Gorgeous man. Cute little butt. All right, listen. No matter how hard you try and what you're seeing the animal, quote, go through is your perception of that. Now, I know that kicks a lot of you in the ass because you see them in pain. Yes, I understand that, but you're translating that as pain. You see the suffering, yes, but you're translating that as suffering. We're going to do a video on that, but I just want you to start in that. It's almost empty. Go ahead and use it all. I see what you're seeing. I understand your perspective. We're moving out of that, yes. Don't rush it, because the minute you get mad at it, the minute you reinforce the separation. Every entity that incarnates as anything knows all the probabilities, knows the experience, chooses that for in and of itself the experience. Don't feel sorrowful, then you create sorrow. Don't feel pain, then you create pain. Look at it as love, cherish. It's moving out of that. But you might as well tell the tigers to stop eating the antelopes. It's going to be tough for you to do that. Let it go. Let it expand. Thank you, Tommy. Texas pecan.
Oh yeah, yummy.
Roxy loves that. Very good. So we will do a video on that. Excellent, excellent question. But realize how you're viewing it is your view of it. You don't have to view it in an idea of course or ours. Yeah, we'll expand on it more. Very good. Next question.
This is from Paul F.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you could ever do a video or channelings or a question for your Q&A session on how to communicate with nature, trees, etc., or even Gaia herself. That's my thing, man.
Yeah. You want to teach on that?
Sure.
Why don't you do that in the class? Teach
I
a
would
connection
love
with
that.
Gaia and nature?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's my thing. I
Yeah.
love it.
And Paul, you have Roxy's idea. Talked to her quite a bit, so just give her a call and we can do a separate answer for that on how to do it, because that would be quite elaborate. But it's just like everything else. You want to connect. See, Gaia is an entity, okay? So just like the entity that's over there called the Pleiadian self, or up there called the Nesasani, Gaia is the same thing. It's only the definition. Since it's an Earth, how do I connect? I can talk to one of my other selves, but I can't talk to the idea of Gaia. I can talk to my higher self, but I can't talk. Yes, you can. That's your own limitation, Paul. That's your own thing. Separate that. Separate the idea of the ideas and become that separation idea. Separate Gaia, separate this, separate that. I got to do this to talk to them, but then to talk to them, how can I connect to nature? Okay, elements are talking, fire, wind, water. They're elements. They're entities. And in the idea of trees, entities, experience, part of, you can talk to them all. There's different levels of awareness. There's an understanding for that. That's a different part of that expansion as well. And we'll have Rita teach you the different awareness levels of different ideas for different ways to communicate. That's kind of ideas. So yeah, that's a great thing. We'll do a class on that. But you know, connect with Roxy and we'll talk to you that way. In elaboration, go ahead.
The next question comes from Cole M.
Love Cole. How are you, Cole? Good to hear from you.
What past lives can you share with me that can offer me growth in this present moment? I am very connected to the idea of being in a war. Can you give me information of what I've been through?
A lot.
What's my connection with my friend Ben? Thank you and much love.
Ben is just a spiritual buddy of yours, if you want to call it that. You guys hang around with each other through cyclic lives, thousands and thousands and thousands of lives together, playing different roles, strangers, the whole thing. We've told you this before. Raw Bear's woken up. What question are we on anyway?
That was 19.
Okay. So in the idea of, let's say, your past life, okay, and being in a war, you were a two times. We'll give you both of these. When the idea of Ramtha blazed through in revenge, I love the way he did it. It was so beautiful. In revenge, wiped out millions of people through generations of dying and then coming back and dying and coming back. And not Ramtha himself, but different ideas. So you were in that war as well as Ben. But the Crusades was your mainstay. You loved dying in the Crusades, and you played both sides. So you've been at war. You loved the idea, and you played the idea of the I'm doing it for Christ idea, and that was your big one because you really loved the compassion, because your reverence for the idea, your vitality, your thick love for the idea of becoming one idea of Christianity. And it was played out beautifully because you want to be connected to God. And that connection, that isness that you were about that, you played that role on that side of the Crusades many times. You only played a few times on the other side. So that's your remembrance of that, your past life and that idea. Very good. Here's a cheeky bear. Wake up from his little nap. Little raw. Love you. Go ahead, baby.
Okay, question number 20 from Zach.
Zach Darman. Yeah.
Yes, apparently I have a contract to make some sort of free energy device.
You do?
Is that
you better do it then. Fulfill that damn contract.
Right?
If not, you're going to get popped in the ass, right?
Is that something I have planned for this incarnation?
It is a potential... Go ahead.
If so, can I get some hints how to get the device I'm working on to work? Is there a potential? Is there a potential for me to make some money making music, and any advice on how to do that? There is a collective that believes tuning A to 432 hertz instead of the standard 440 hertz tuning will resonate with nature and activate DNA better. Is there any truth to this?
It's a probability.
He's talking about the solfeggio scale.
Yes.
And actually the DNA repair frequency is 528.
Okay. Yes. Okay, now that I'm looking into it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so...
The music thing is, okay, listen, you want to do the music in that kind of idea, you can do that in the now, and then you can do the energy. It's not a contract, it's a potential. Okay? I don't come to Earth and check off a list before I come in, okay, we're going to connect here, and if we do connect, then I have this contract, and if I play that out, and if I don't play it out, this is what the consequences. No. Stop. Stop. It's a potential for you to play. How does the free energy device to work? Tune in to Nikola Tesla and ask him. That's one way to do it. And know that when you tune into Nikola Tesla, it's the same energy source, all, that the information flows from that gave him his devices. He just was undistorted about it. No greater than you. No greater than you. Tune in, Zach, and allow it and let it come. When you get the excitement of it and how to make it work, then you start losing the connection and you pull off the pull of the past on how it's supposed to work. And you're creating the problem and sustaining the problem by staying in that frequency. Or you can let go and allow in the now to have it unfold. When Nikola had a vision of that idea, let's say we'll reference AC/DC. He saw the whole thing, and then he had the ability to zoom in and take apart every single part and understood moment in each moment how that whole device works. So when he created it, it worked because he was so undistorted, because he gave himself that ability as a potential that fractal chose. Other fractals of him didn't. That fractal chose to have that, let's say, undistorted connection to all that is, to allow him to create. And as he started his validational tour of this new idea, potential to explore to become the Nikola Tesla that you know today, he got his validations in those perfect nows to trust himself. So trust yourself and allow it to come. Period. One more question.
This is from Mike A. When I am tarot card reading, am I channeling, and who am I channeling?
Yes, and your higher self. That's it?
That's it. Okay, that's 21 questions.
How much time are we on?
We're at 57 minutes.
Right about an hour.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good deal. All right, guys, good stuff. And what was the last guy's name?
Mike.
Mike, yes, you are channeling your higher self. And that's really good, because what we just tuned into while we were in our pause, you're going outside of the boundaries of the box in front of you called a tarot card. Good job. Trust it, because that's the individual now. You don't come in as a blanket idea and make that reading fit the construct of the past of what it's supposed to be. You're channeling. Trust you. Good job. Excellent. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here, bring back Roxy. We love you, and we'll see you on Friday. Mwah. Bye. Good deal. All right, guys, thank you so much for the questions, and we'll get this up, and part 2 will be Friday. I love you guys. Talk to you in the next now. Bye.